Wait, here we go. Wait, it's so zoomed. I can barely get the whole shot. You can't zoom out farther than the max.
Okay.
Oh, we're already rolling.
Good evening,
I didn't
everybody.
realize. Wait,
Welcome.
you're gonna have to cut out the first how many seconds?
No. Good evening, everybody. Today we are unboxing a thing of Girl Scout Dippins. Unfortunately, the box is already open. However, the sleeves are still intact. So I'm going to be unboxing and reviewing these cookies today.
Like I'm gonna plant an apple tree with my Sprite bottle.
This spray bottle.
So the first thing that we notice is the pristine wrapping. As you can see, the wrapping goes all the way around. There is not a single leak. You really want to check your Thin Mint wrappers for leaks, because if there is a gap, there could be like cyanide in there. So I know that these are safe.
There's cyanide in apple seed.
So now if you watch, as I open the package, you really want to see, this is also what shows that it's a really good thing at Thin Mints, is how it opens. You can see that it opens. See that's bad right there, rib there. So you know that's probably not going to be my best packet of Thin Mints, but they're still Thin Mints, and this is what I'm doing, I'm reviewing. You can see there's a little bit of a rib there, and that really just shows you that you're getting subpar Thin Mints. Anyways, as we go to the actual mints, the first thing you want to look at is the bottom here. You see this bottom is not entirely smooth. So once again, this is telling me that these Thin Mints are probably subpar. I don't know until I taste them, but my general consensus is that this is probably not going to be the best Thin Mint I've had.
Consensus is something that makes
Shut up, nerd boy! Anyways.
True consensus does require probably like at least 3 people.
Anyways, so my conclusion, I don't know the word consensus, but for me, is that it's probably going to be a bad Thin Mint. I'm going to try this now. and
Your
we'll see.
opinion?
That is the word. So right off the bat, what I notice is the way that it crumbles off. This is actually very good for a Thin Mint, is that... No, Daniel, I'm doing a review.
they're mine.
I gotta try each one, Daniel. You can try them now. So if you look here, the first thing is you can see the way that it broke off. It broke off not cleanly. You don't want a clean break because that would imply that it's really hard. You want a little bit of a jagged edge there, and that really shows the quality of it. In terms of taste, I taste a lot of thin, but unfortunately there's not a lot of mint in this one. I guess I gotta try the next one.
I think you're calling Daniel their toilet projection.
This one, if you look, same deal as the previous Thin Mint that I tried. You can see on the bottom here, this one's actually a lot worse than the previous one, but there's all these little markings there, and that really shows that whoever made this in the factory just did not take much care. So this makes me a little bit concerned about the taste of this one, because if you're not trying enough to make the mint bottom smooth, I'm not sure how much you're going to be trying with the flavor inside. So to pass these off to Daniel very quickly, because Daniel's being whiny. I'm going to need those back in a second for the rest of my review. And then if you look on the top, a really great detail is you can see the little indents, the little ridges here. And that really shows that there is actually a lot of attention to detail. So I'm not quite sure if it was just a factory defect or what was happening, but the top is very, very pristine. But the bottom is, you can see the rough, jagged edges. So we're going to try this now.
I like how Freddy's Instagram story is just I found a cat.
So once again, like in the previous one, it's a little bit jagged here. And actually, if you zoom in close enough, you can see all the little holes, all the little pores in there. And that is how they get you with the Thin Mints. Is it's not completely cookie. There's some air in it. And so that's actually one of my biggest complaints. I've emailed the Girl Scouts a couple times, and for some reason I've never gotten a response. I'm thinking it's because they just get so many emails about this subject every day that they don't feel the need to do it. But that's my big concern with this. In terms of the flavor, there's a lot more. In the previous one, I tasted a lot of thin, but not a lot of mint. This one's actually the opposite. There's a lot of mint, but unfortunately no thin. And really, you got to get that perfect combination of the two. So if I can have a look for you, Daniel?
How many have you had?
Not enough.
I don't know about that.
How many have you had? Let's get to the
So next we're doing this thing. Once again, you can see the sleeve was not prepared with care. Daniel very clearly ripped it here. That shows you it's a very low quality sleeve, and also Daniel just doesn't know how to eat Thin Mints correctly. So So I should really just get the rest of this.
Yeah.
So this one I'm very impressed with, as opposed to the last one, which had a bunch of ridges. This is actually very, very smooth. I think there might have been a factory error or something when they were actually packaging it, but I think when it was actually made, it was smooth at the time. That's my theory. The top, once again, is very impressive with all the ridges on the edges, and they have the little indents. The indents are not fully in there. That's what I really like, because the deeper they make the indents, the less cookie you get. And so the fact that they did this really shows that they gave a lot of care and effort into this cookie. So we're going to try it now, and we're going to see how it tastes. Once again, this is actually a very good batch for the outside appearance. Is that you get that jagged edge again. You have those pores, but the pores are not quite as big as last time, which makes me really happy, and I'm really appreciative of whoever made this cookie, because they wanted to really give me the cookie with the combination of the lack of the deep indents and the lack of the pores. There's a pretty good combination of thin and mint here. I think there's maybe a tiny bit too much mint, but other than that, it is a perfect cookie. I think the final one that we're going to sample today is this one. As you can see, at the top, the indents are a little bit deeper than the one before it, which makes me a little bit concerned just right off the bat. That shows that they don't want me to have as much cookie, and maybe that this cookie just isn't as good as the rest of them. The bottom has a little bit of indentation here. This is, once again, not a horrible thing, but it's not great either. It makes me a little bit more concerned. The side ridges are perfect. So I'm not quite sure what they were doing here, but there was clearly some errors here. I think maybe two people were working on this. One of these people really cared, one of the people didn't. I'm not positive. We're now going to see how this one tastes. This is the best one yet. It's almost a perfect combination of thin and mint. So even though the exterior wasn't great, the interior here, the one complaint I have is that if you look in, there's quite a few pores. So I kind of wish I could have a little bit more of this cookie, but unfortunately with the combination of the indentations, the pores, and then the holes on the bottom, it's just really, there's not enough cookie there. And that's very disappointing for me, because I had such high hopes for this cookie. This was delicious, but there's just not enough. Thank you everyone for tuning in to Kyle's Cookie Hour, or however long this was. We'll throw in some ads to make it longer.
It's 8 minutes.
Kyle's Cookie 8 minutes. I hope you enjoyed.